apologize, everyone. I apologize to everyone for the technical difficulties there. My router just decided that it needed to restart in the middle of the game, so I don't know how much of the commentary you guys were able to catch before the channel went down. Uh, but it was an exciting game. I don't know where we cut off or how long the game went through. um, but in case it did drop off, I Must Feed did take the last Immortal, was able to get a triple kill, and then move through the game. What did you think, Dark?
It was a really well played game. I am a little bit sad that Ragnaros did go Lava Wave. I think that combo could have been potentially devastating had he gone with the Sulfur Smash. Though I do like the Lava Wave talent as well. Usually I just think that would have synergized really well, and they weren't getting those picks because of that lack of burst damage in CC. I think they were frequently able to lower the health pools, but the big beefy boys up front of Johanna and Diva were able to just eat that damage and continue going, and they usually found the kills first.
Yeah, I mean that Kael'thas did get a lot of damage out with the bomb, which was good to see. But they were able to get through it pretty well with the Anduin.
Yeah, they just kept healing back up. And with main tank Uther, you don't really want to play the long drawn out fight game. You wanna blow somebody up, give armor to the person they're trying to blow up, so that you win the short fast trade and then move on to the next hero. And they just were not able to find those quick kills.
Yeah, it was very good back and forth. Um, and it looks like our next map is going to be Volskaya, as picked by I Must Feed. So another uh, very much played map. Um,
Yeah, I think Volskaya is one that's pretty easy to understand, at least in theory, which makes it popular by a lot of teams. And it's got a good objective that rallies everybody to one point and makes for some fun 5-man team fights for sure.
yeah, good point control. Is there any, I guess, hero priorities you would like to see on this map?
So I'm always a big fan of artillery mages on Volskaya, which would basically be Li Ming, Chromie, maybe a Tassadar. That poke can be invaluable when somebody's trying to stay on the point, and you can just throw it that direction. Anybody who's really good at standing on a point forever is nice. That would be Johanna, May, Diva, all really strong here. I actually love Gazlo on this map if they let him through. He's pretty popular right now, though, so he might be in a ban phase. Just the turrets everywhere, though, can definitely be annoying to deal with.
Yeah, and with his recent buffs, he could be a terror to deal with.
I looked this one up today for curiosity's sake. I think since the most recent patch, he's sitting at almost a 60% win rate, which is by far the highest in the game. He's like 4 or 5% above the next person. So he's a terror right now. Very strong. I think probably harder to deal with in the lower leagues than in the upper leagues, because he's very sustainy and just kind of gets steady damage out. It's hard to know where it's coming from, and that's hard to punish unless you can collapse and kill him fast.
Yeah, I agree. As a Gazlo favorite, I can't say that I've ever been a Gazlo main. It's nice to see him get some love.
Yeah, I personally like it as the follow-up. You get something like a Johanna Bless Shield into a Condemn that pulls everybody in, and then a Gravel Bomb pulls everybody in, and you're just dropping some AoE damage on it. they're just stuck there so long, CC'd so hard, and all of those things actually do damage. So the Blessed Shield does some damage, the Condemn does some damage, the Shield Glare does some damage, the Stun by Gazlo and his alt do damage, and by the time the damage dealers actually get there, all of the people sitting in a row stunned for you are nice and low health. Easy pickings. Yeah, red team though sticking with their guns. I believe Orpheus Zul'jin was the exact 2 banned last time, so they said we don't want to see those 2. It worked for us last time. We're trying it again.
The crusade calls.
Yeah, I would expect a May pick here, or we could just Blaze. That is exciting, and I like it. So typically speaking, he is their tank. They haven't really moved that around much. Their Bruiser has played some Imperious. Maybe they're thinking kind of just a double beefy front line. Or something of that nature. I am pretty surprised to not see the May here. With a 3-0 record on her and her still being up and very strong on this map, in my opinion, I would have guessed that's what we would have got. The double global coming out of the blue team on a decently small map. I don't know. I like it. Could be spicy. Yeah, Brightwing got patched or buffed, excuse me, like 3 patches ago or something like that. It was quite a while back. Nobody really played her immediately. And then last patch, even though she was pretty much completely untouched, it seems like everybody decided, like, hey, you know those buffs that came through 2 months ago? They were pretty good. And they were right. She's doing really well. She's seen a lot of play in that CCL league coming up. I believe his name is BBJ. Takes her almost exclusively and has done phenomenally with her. Definitely in the right hands, a very strong and currently meta hero. Yeah, I think she does make some sense with the Blaze. If you can put that Holy Ground, I don't know what it's actually called. Excuse me, I don't play healer. Around a Blaze that can drop a bunker. You guys can jump in and out of it, get the armor. You're also sitting in Whitemane's ult. It makes sense for a point control map. At least in theory, if they can execute that combo. We do see the Tassadar on the one team, the Li Ming on the other team. So both teams did pick up one of those artillery mages and a Muradin Sudden Bears. So I don't know if they're doing a Muradin offlane that is, oh, and a swap. That makes sense to me. So the Blaze is definitely the offlane. The Muradin is definitely the tank. Swapping the players. Yeah, for sure. Muradin's great at eating a bunch of damage, backing up for 3 seconds, and then coming back in with full health. It's really annoying unless you can secure the full kill. They do have some lockdown on the side of the Frank's Furters, so if they can get a Blessed Shield into a drag or something like that, they certainly might be able to just finish Muradin all the way off before he has the chance to jump out, get his 2nd or 3rd win, depending on the talent, and come back in.
Yeah, absolutely. A little more hard CC, I guess, from the get-go from the red team, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. All right, and then going into the game, on the blue side, we have Boggs playing the Rainer. We have Magic Master on Tassadar, a Dallying Pig on the Johanna, Indecisive on the Brightwing, and DJ Cold Cuts on the Dahaka. Who we have over here on the red side?
On the red side, we have John Goodman swapping over to that Muradin from the Blaze. We have Bagoli on Whitemane, Sudden Bears who swap to the Blaze, Lister Fiend on Vala, and Knight on Li Ming.
All right, and we've got our typical brawl here in the middle. Everybody going to blow all their cooldowns for not a lot of value. most of the
You
time.
get that triple stun and a little bit of follow-up by the red team, but nothing crazy. Every once in a while, you will see a middle fight where like 3 people die on one team and it's crazy, and then they lose a bunch of soak, but it does not happen often.
Oh, big stun. Another big stun there.
Sudden Bears apparently loving that Blaze play.
Yep, and one thing either of the teams can do is take advantage of this middle part of the map and really slow down the rotation. So if you know, the Muradin wants to get in there and throw out a Storm Bolt. Oh, Johanna's very low.
She does have that Iron Skin up though, so no real concern. Yeah, for sure, interrupting rotations can be great. One of the keys to doing that well, though, is being ahead in wave clear. So the wave clear power of that Tassadar Johanna seeming to keep the blue team ahead in wave clear. That they are going to try a cheeky invade.
Little
here.
spicy play here.
They're going to be seen immediately by the red team.
They're out in little bad positioning here. Big stun by Blaze.
It is
But
a 5v5. Some orbs flying in. Blaze getting a little low though, forced to retreat out to the side. This fight is going all over the place. Not
big stuns on Joe, but Joe might go down here. Again. Wow.
The first one to fall, though, Bagoli trying to heal, but just too far away, and both of the damage dealers from the red team really pumping out a lot of damage, but just not quite enough.
And the blue team still contesting this. They want this turret.
They do. They might die for it, though. It's very close here.
Oh, this Tassadar's got to go down.
Gotta fall, right? No, he does get out. This is a crazy fight.
Wow.
And they are gonna all back up. Only one death in that entire fight. It was like 1 minute and 10 seconds long, as it started right at 1 minute when that turret came up.
That was insane for a turret invade.
Yeah, that's probably the longest camp invade I've ever seen. It was very fun though, so excited for more. That blue team just barely made it out with their life over and over and over again. There was 3-4 times that I was convinced somebody was going to fall. That Brightwing healing just surprisingly barely enough over and over again.
Yep,
and the red team just not focusing it down quite well enough.
And those kills did give them a level advantage. They are a good full level ahead going into this first control point.
Yeah.
So if I'm the blue team, I'm going to try and soak up here and come back with a full level lead and level 7 talents.
Yeah, for sure. They do have the time to try and get level 7 before they even worry about contesting this. They're only about 3/4 of a level away, and then they can jump on it. In retaliation, the red team might just have the time to get level 7 and then come back on before 99%. It's hard to say. If they can find a kill or something here for the red team, that's definitely ideal, since that will even up that experience a lot faster. But it's hard to do when you are down those levels.
And both teams posturing at the support camp. I'd like to see one team move to it. Maybe this red team gave them a little bit more of that advantage, or item advantage, going into this.
They are forcing, there we go, they forced the blue team off for now. Blue does have 7, so I'm not entirely sure why. I guess they're on the support camp. They decide that they would rather take that first, and red is gonna fight this despite being down 7.
Yeah, the talent tier, they do not care. And the Muradin just going down.
And Blaze is likely
He's
to
close
fall.
here.
They drop the turret, so at least they don't gain an additional item, but they do still get the healing beacon with the double kill, working out really well in the early game for this blue team. And they are ready for some revenge in a game number 3.
Yeah, and that was good call by the blue team, taking this support camp. They're a level up. They know if the other team comes in, they're going to have the talent advantage, and that's exactly what happened. And they made full, they took full advantage of the other team coming in at a talent tier down.
They are invading this turret camp again. The blue team just relentless momentum in this early game, and they will not stop invading. Vala flanking in, which is usually not what you want to do as Vala, so she's now running for dear life.
No, but Tassadar goes down.
She does.
Brightwing in trouble here. Brightwing goes down. So again, 2 turret camp invades in 2 times where it doesn't work out all that well.
So
Now,
the first one did work out for him. They did end up finding the kill. The second one certainly did not work out for him, but
I guess one for one. One for one.
yeah, I do like the aggression though. They didn't have much aggression in that first game. It didn't feel like. It seems like that's something they identified that they wanted to do differently in game 2, and they are going for it wholeheartedly. You can't fault somebody for trying something with all their heart. So.
No, and with the aggression, I mean, they seemed a little bit passive in the first game, so I like to see the change of pace going into this one. And it's really paying off so far. Red team's having a hard time adjusting.
Yeah, they seem to be on the back foot. Li Ming is throwing out a lot of damage, but just not being quite enough. Interestingly, I guess, Raynor literally toe for toe with her, both at 15,500 basically.
Oh, this Dahaka's in trouble here.
Dahaka, or he'll just walk away and they'll all stop focusing him. That's an interesting choice.
Wow.
They do drop the turret for the red team, but then they
White Man goes down at the top, and Muradin's in trouble here. He jumps away.
The red team just doesn't feel very focused right now. They're splitting attention onto all 5 targets, running here to there, and getting split up, and the blue team's taking advantage of that.
Yep, now the blue team does have the heroic advantage here. So let's see where we go. I'd like to see an invade. Keep up the aggression, move into their top camp, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late.
The top camp is a lot riskier. You're very far in, so unless you have a numbers advantage or you're positive they won't be able to get 10 before you do it. I don't know if I love the top camp invade, but I wouldn't have been surprised with this game to see it either, because that's just kind of the way we're going.
Yeah, and that first Triglav did not get a whole lot of value in that top lane with the fountain still up. They were not able to get the fountain, but this Blaze in a bad rotation has to burn bunker. So yeah, that is a big cooldown burn.
It was traded for the Blessed Shield though, but now Red just dropping all of their ults, and Blue still holding everything but Blessed Shield.
Tassidar's in trouble back here. Good zoning by the blue team, but Dahaka might go down.
But Dahaka has all of his essence. He just heals himself all the way up.
And then the Emerald Wind to kind of push the enemy team back and disengage.
Yeah, so we're now we're kind of at a 30-second interval here, where it would be nice for the blue team if they could invade, since they do have the Archon and Hyperion up, whereas red team only has Disintegrate, which has that nice short cooldown. But it looks like they're just gonna go clear top, which is a fine choice. All the ults will probably be back up by the time these two teams fight again.
Again, posturing here at the camp.
Right away.
All right, let's see if the. Ooh, big, big orb beaten by Raynor there.
Yeah, Raynor's been aggressive this whole game, but he hasn't been punished for it yet, and that's been allowing him to keep crazy high damage numbers, way over Tassadar and equal with Li Ming, who's usually hard to equalize that damage as she just gets to kind of free clear from the back.
All right, we've got Archon coming out. Red team's getting pushed back here. That was Blessed Shield that missed.
Yeah, I don't know if I love the ults out of the blue team there. You want to save those unless you're
that Tassadar.
And Brightwing tries to blink in, but is not fast enough. They kill him too fast. And now the Blaze flank to see if they can hold people in long enough. This Dahaka is likely to fall. Man, that essence though, it's just
a ton of value. But this is going to give the red team the support camp and early advantage.
They mostly they come a lot back closer in experience, because blue team's now missing some top here, and they got the kill, and they're gonna get the early start onto this top point and get quite a bit of it before Tassadar will be able to get back to contest.
And Blaze is staying mid and making up that XP difference.
Interestingly, Tassadar may be rotating mid, but he thinks better of it and decides to come top as well.
All right, so everything's pretty even now. So this is a could be a game-turning fight for the red team if they can pick up a couple kills and the protector, this could very well turn the map in their favor.
Murden finishing his Stormbolt quest, which is in pretty respectable time, right around 10 minutes, and will help for future setups.
That's the healing camp down.
Healing camp, but it is burnt down very quickly.
Avatar
just sustaining through that essence over and over and over again.
Out comes the bunker. Get to save Murden. No, Murden jumps back.
Out instead of jumping into the bunker, which might have been the better choice there. Jet propulsion.
Whitemane just getting melted there. Good turn by the blue team, dumping out a lot of damage. And being able to take back advantage here on the top fort. Johanna going in deep. She wants one of these kills while they have the advantage.
Yeah. They're unpunished for it, so it's fine. We will have enough time for Whitemane to be back and to contest, and they won't have 16s yet, so red team needs to not go in here. They looked like they wanted to. Hopefully they will not. You want to wait for Whitemane to get back. You have the time.
Always a smart idea to start a fight with your healer with you.
Yeah, the healer is nice. Don't leave your healer behind.
Dahaka just trying to...
awkwardly off to the side. Maybe getting a Bala kill?
Possibly. Oh, he's gonna... Oh.
That essence over and over
too
again.
much.
This team has to be so frustrated that they haven't gotten a kill.
So much going on. Blaze is in trouble up here, though.
Blaze is standing on the point, but he is going to fall. Dahaka falls at the same time.
That's a 1-for-1.
And Li Ming still are...
That's Archon coming out.
They're going to drop the protector down. A little bit low on health as the blue teams. They might find it hard to push really hard here, but they are going to go for it. We'll see if they're punished by jumping past that protector onto the backline or not.
And it looks like they're going to get the fort and be able to get and keep pushing this.
Yeah, the Brightwing now has had the time to mostly heal herself and the Tassadar up. I wouldn't mind watching the red team just dive straight past the Triglav right at first, because Brightwing and Tassadar were both very low on health. Might have been able to punish them for coming in so aggressively.
Yep, and the red team was pretty healthy at that point. A good setup stun by Murden could have taken out the Tassadar there. Oh, but Murden just getting melted.
Deleted by all of that combined damage from the Triglav and the Tassadar beam coming through.
What is his stacks at? Looks like Tassadar sitting at 125. So decent amount of burst damage, and then he did go into the thermal lance that gives the 8% damage to the first hero hit. So that combined with the follow-up damage from the protector just melted the Murden there.
Yeah, I think he was surprised. Myself being a little bit surprised as well by how quickly he got burnt down. He thought he was going to be able to eat a couple more shots before running away, but it's not correct. And that
third invade
was
this
not a
invade number 3 here. And this Blaze is super deep.
I don't know if I love the Blaze positioning, but it seems to be working out for him. Brightwing's going to port onto Johanna before she dies, but that is the port down now, and Johanna's still low on health. They might be able to keep pushing this fight in.
Big
Johanna
orb from Li Ming.
Whitemane does fall. Tassadar in a little bit awkward position along with Blaze. They might both fall. Tassadar does sneak his way back.
Raynor just out here poking, and he might be able to clean up everything here.
Man, I cannot believe how much he's been able to stand in the middle of these fights but not die.
That Li Ming orb could have killed the entire blue team right there.
Yeah, it was close. You got to watch out. She did take that level 16 further travel talent where it does increase its damage if it gets out further, so those orbs can hit really hard now if they do hit at maximum range. This is looking great for the blue team, though. After that first protector didn't get as much value like you mentioned, the second one gets all 3 ports, which is kind of crazy. And they've just taken that 16 advantage that they had for a little bit, used it to get some more kills, pushed it further in, picked up another couple kills in that crazy last invade fight, and they are now sitting dominantly in the driver's seat of this game.
Yeah, and we're talking about crazy damage. Oh, another engage here. Getting caught in the middle. This Whitemane's a little too far forward, and she gets caught.
Bala able to disengage maybe, but it doesn't seem like they use it as a disengage. They
No.
want this fight still.
They're still here. This Vala is going crazy.
Oh man, and
That-
Johanna almost dying, but just barely making it out. They can just not kill this blue team. Every time they get them down to 50 health, it seems like, but every time they survive.
That Brightwing was clutch right there on the Johanna.
Yeah, and look at the Brightwing healing. 32,000 more than Whitemane, who's known as a good healer when you get in these scrappy fights, and they've been in scrappy fights all game long. This Brightwing doing work.
Yeah, 83,000 healing now, which is insane.
Already.
Yeah.
Fastest jump at 85. Just keeps going. Yeah, that Brightwing getting a crazy amount of value in this game, alongside that Raynor too. Still on 0 deaths with 63,000 damage.
Yep,
He's
this
been
blue
so
team.
in the middle of these fights without getting punished for it.
Yep, blue team is gonna take this keep here. They have the level 20 advantage.
They certainly should at least.
They should be able to take this keep, go back, and if they can disengage here, this Dahaka's in trouble. But Essence, again.
Essence fills up. They do have to use a couple ults to get out of there.
Yeah, the Blessed Shield.
Maybe the red team can find an engage here in the next little bit where they can fight down 20s, but up some ults at least. But it's a hard call to make when you don't have the level 20 talent.
4 for 4 invades?
They are on the invade, and I don't think red can even make it down here.
No.
If they try and run in here, it's a bad idea. Li Ming sending an orb back in her base's direction by accident. That's a little funny. A little bit of a misclick. But yeah, red team is just in a tough spot here. I think they ultimately kind of wanted to take a fight really fast after all those ults dropped for the blue team.
Yeah, and the red team's gonna
they'll make 20 in time.
No, they're gonna have to take the fight here because with this bottom fort being gone and some damage onto this keep wall, this Triglav could very well end the game. So yeah, they're gonna have to take this fight a talent tier down.
If I were them, I would run it straight mid too, or do this. That works too. I was gonna say mid already has a huge chunk of the wall down, so I'd just skip through there. But they're just gonna take down the bottom wall instead.
Yeah, very smart by the blue team.
Just red. I think it's a desperation fight to fight down 20s. I agree, but you knew that a bunch of ults had come out, and you should have chosen that time to fight. Because now you're just gonna be fighting down 20s while they have a Triglav, and that is not better.
No, so this is, game's on the line here. I like what Red was trying to do and catch up in experience, but hopefully they can catch up here and maybe get a pick from just kind of sitting up here. They can catch somebody in the back line.
Yeah, they didn't have the time they needed. Blaze not with the team either right now. Another call I don't know if I agree with here. Really like what Red did in the first game, but they seem flustered here in the second. And just a little split up, ball is going to die right away, and that's probably going to be the end of this. That's a huge chunk of their Immortal damage. The Immortal's just going to punch that keep on its way towards the core. And
Meriden is very low, so blue team just going to wail away at the core now.
I just don't think they have the damage left. All they have to do is right-click core, and they win.
Yeah, and the core is melting here, and we still have a very, very healthy Protector. So I think this is going to be game 2, going over to Frank's Furters, and we're gonna get a game 3.
Yeah, and to be fair, as I was criticizing the red team there a little bit, most likely had you tried my idea, you still end up dying. You were still down 20 talent tiers. It's a decision call. I just think if you know you're not gonna have the time to get to 20 anyways, you take that fight before you have to do it against Triglav as well.
Well, and I know from experience, when we listen to Dark Horse, we end up losing games.
That is very true.
But no, a complete turnaround by the blue team. I'm really, really impressed with what I saw here in this second game. 77,000 damage from the Raynor.
Yeah, there was a lot of standout heroes there. Dahaka ate so much damage for the team over and over and over again. The red team thought they could kill him, and they just couldn't. He has 33,000 healing by himself, let alone the Brightwing ports into him and stuff. They probably pumped 50,000, 60,000 damage onto Dahaka, thinking they would get kills, and over again he was saved. That Brightwing with almost 100k healing, while Whitemane only able to get 60k, winning by almost 40,000. Johanna getting a lot of good engages, never dying, and that Rainer on a crazy amount of damage. Just really good all around.
Yeah, and that Brightwing healing, I think you mentioned it, 97,000 healing. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah,
very, very well
was
played
not
there.
indecisive about
No.
where he was going to throw his heals. The answer was everywhere all the time, and he did it well.
Yeah, very impressed. Saving his team in so many different situations, and then the Emerald wins to disengage, push the enemy team back, and just let them get out safe.
Yeah, it was again. It would be really hard to name an MVP that game because there was just so many really good ones. Tastar led in their experience in Siege. Dahaka easily taking the most damage, I think, even over Johanna. They just kept thinking they could get the kills they couldn't. Rainer easily leading their hero damage. Brightwing with so much healing, and Johanna with a lot of really good engages and no deaths, which is hard as a tank.
Yeah, I that was such a fun game to watch, and I am very much looking forward into this game 3.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I imagine that I Must Feed is gonna take first pick away again, and I would like to see if they put that priority onto the Johanna.
I wouldn't be
man, there's a lot
surprised.
to think about.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Johanna ban.
Yeah, you could ban it. You could first pick it. They seem to be really scared of that Orpheon Zul'jin still, though. So you have to be concerned that if you don't take one of those Bogs who's on that really aggressive Rainer, might be on a really aggressive Zul'jin, and if you can't punish Zul'jin, he's gonna have similar results.
All right, and we are going to Cursed Hollow. As picked by the members of Frank's Furters. So a big map. We might get the Dahaka again. The global value plus the Brightwing.
Yeah, I would seriously consider banning away those globals or picking them if you have a player that's very comfortable playing those. It's a map where they probably get even more value than on that last one, and they got a lot of value on that last one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Mei come out here, fighting around the curse point. And she can just be so annoying. It's kind of like the Dahaka in the last game. You think you've got Mei dead, but then she ice blocks and, heals up for 35% of her health. And then just comes back and, starts freezing you again.
Yeah, for sure. She's also really excellent on standing on boss points, which makes her strong here for very similar reasons. Falstad's a good choice here because of the boss control and the global. Always love to see Vikings and Abathur plays, but those ones are pretty hard to pull off unless you've played the hero quite a lot.
I think there have been a couple of Abathur games. I can't remember by which team, but I do believe there was an Abathur pick by one of the teams. I don't remember though. I looked at a lot of stats today, so I can't remember. But an Abathur play here could give a ton of value. So yeah, I'm really interested to see the priority that we get on these heroes.
Cursed Hollow.
Yeah. It's always a fun series too when you've kind of had both teams give their best shot to the other team, and they both kind of beat them up pretty bad in the game they won. So we'll have to see how both teams respond to see who is able to take number 3.
Yeah, and I would, again with this map, I'd like to see some invades. You can get a lot of value from camp invades on such a large map like this. So taking a quick camp clear hero like a Rainer who played very well last game, stealing the siege camp or or anything once you kind of get a little bit of an advantage could go a long way into snowballing the game.
So band's looking the same as game 2 so far.
Yep, they really don't want to play that Orphea. And
there are certainly some heroes that are worth permabanning. You know, you have those. I don't want to say one tricks because clearly he hasn't been playing poorly on other heroes, but you'll have some players who are just so good on one player or one hero in particular that it's just not worth letting them have it ever. And that's what they feel like the Orphea and the Zul'jin are in this case.
Yeah, I mean, and we've got identical bans coming from both sides, so let's see if the priorities put on Joe here. I wouldn't be surprised. Yep.
The crusade calls.
And that does make a lot of sense. It's the pick onto a comfort pick for you, where you're now, I think, 4 of 5. So 80% win rate on the hero, and picks it away from the other team who's a comfort pick for them and played very well on the last game with her.
Yep, and Joe's 100% win rate so far, but the Brightwing and the Dahaka going immediately with the double global.
Yeah, that's why I said I would think about banning him out. Got a lot of value last game. We'll have to see what the red team here plans to do to counter that value this game. See if they can keep him from doing so much.
I'd like to see a Falstad here. You can get a lot of value from the Falstad and negate some of that Dahaka value. And there's a lot of places here where you can get Gust. And Medivh, okay.
So Medivh, not a global, but can help you rotate really fast. Good boss control if he goes ley line, or good team fight around bosses if he goes polymorph.
Yeah, Medivh, one of those healers that's, or I guess he's technically a support. But if you can get him stacked, I've seen Medivh be a top damage dealer, so he's one of those heroes that has a ton of utility, and it's just whether your team can play around all the utility Medivh brings.
So they're banning out the ETC here, which now takes away the only 2 tanks they've played so far this series.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a Muradin pick here. They do play some Diablo, and they have had some Anubarak games, so it'll be interesting to see where they go. The Anubarak can get some good engages through Beyond Walls. And then the follow-up stuns.
Rainer again.
Yep.
They're building a distinctly similar team to what they had last game.
Yes,
so
they are.
3 of the same exact heroes, and Li Ming, not Tassadar, but she is another what I would classify again as like an artillery mage, where they just stand in the back and throw out long-range damage.
Yeah, red side. Okay, they picked the Uther. Okay, and then the Sylvanas. I wonder if they try to cheese bot a little bit at the beginning of the game. Get some trait value out of Sylvanas right off the game. They don't have a ton of race, but can definitely get a little bit of value.
The Diablo.
I like the Diablo here. There's a lot of corridors and walls to stun from, bushes to jump out from. Like, he can be a menace here.
Yeah. My biggest problem with Diablo is I'm not skilled enough to play him well.
Neither am I, but that doesn't stop me.
I will say, though, I do like that the Lightning Breath, I think, has kind of become viable build again. They buffed that Fire Stomp build that gives it bonus damage. And let me tell you, if you're sitting at 40% bonus spell damage with level 20 Lightning Breath, it is disgusting how fast you can wipe a team if they're close to you. So it'll be interesting to see if they go into a Lightning Breath build, or if they stay with the much more standard APOC, though the Lightning Breath has been peeking in here and there since the last patch where it was buffed.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to combo up that Lightning Breath with, so should be a fun one. On our blue side, we've got Boggs on that Rainer again, DJ Cold Cuts on the Dahaka, Indecisive playing the Brightwing, a Dallying Pig on the Diablo, and Magic Master playing the Li Ming.
And on the red side, we have John Goodman on the Johanna once again, a comfort pick for him. Night Knight on Sylvanas, Bagoli on Medivh, Lister Fiend on Kael'thas, and Sudden Bears, who has been playing their Bruiser, playing the Uther.
Let the battle begin.
So I don't want to admit this, but I couldn't find their 5th player. I didn't realize he was the Raven. I'm not used to watching or playing in Medivh games.
You just have to hit tab. That's the cheater's way to announce. So Dahaka eating a lot of damage early, doing a good job of just poking them down. Everybody seeming to split off from here without any kills, but red team does trade the XP a little bit better and does send Sylvanas significantly earlier. So they might just get some extra XP bottom wave, but Dahaka might be getting the same top. Should even out.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to have a classic 1-3-1 split on this map. So we're going to have one top and bottom and then a 3-man here in the mid. I'm interested to see how the blue team this time deals with the Kael'thas bomb. Red team had a little bit of issues with it in that first game, so a little tighter quarters here on Cursed around the points. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that bomb and Kael'thas.
And Boggs on Raynor still just being super aggressive as Night Knight all the way back at his wall. And interestingly here, the Johanna kind of playing Bruiser for him with a almost main tank Uther also playing their main support, at least in the early game. I doubt that'll be the split all game, but it makes it a little bit funny.
Right, very beefy though. Two very hard to kill heroes. And we do have the Sylvanas going into the Unfurling Shadows, so looking for the extra damage off of those dagger stacks. I don't know the name of it exactly. I don't play a ton of Sylvanas, but
yeah, I would just call it the dagger. Unfurling's Shadow empowers your dagger. I don't know if it has another name, but this Boggs is trading well into the Night Knight. So we'll have to see how much she's able to get. He is playing so aggressive though that it is allowing her to stack a little bit easier, I think. So
we got Li Ming coming down here.
Game.
So they might try to get some cheeky damage here on Night Knight, but
yeah, I don't know if they'll.
Oh, that's a medallion.
Get the kill.
But they did bait out the medallion.
That is true, and that's definitely worthwhile. The one thing I will say is, because that took up so much time, we do have a Bruiser camp pushing mid that will be uncontested. I would like to see Sylvanas run in and help that out maybe for just a few seconds, though she might not really have the time unless they decide to give that first curse.
Yeah, the blue team does have some poke potential with the the Li Ming, with the orbs, and can be really annoying
for quite a while on this map.
And they do have the globals, so they show 5 now, but they show 3 down here now, but they could easily be 5.
Be in quick.
Yep, Dahaka's rotating down. And we got the
Wing porting in now as well.
Got the bomb spread.
Good spreads on the bomb, which lowers
Dahaka here going down.
Able to pop the essence this time because they kill him before he comes out of that CC. Sylvanas really low from that Li Ming combo, but they are going to get this tribute. They are going to walk away, and they're pretty even in experience still, which is important when you're playing against that double global.
Yeah, and very good value out of the bomb there. Really able to zone the Diablo away there at the end of that fight, so he couldn't go in and get an engage on any of those walls. And now they're getting some push here with the Sylvanas.
Yeah, they do get a little bit. This Raynor doing a really good job every time Sylvanas tries to go and turn off the towers, of just focusing everything on her though and forcing her to have health, and then she's got to decide if it's worth trying to stick in there or not. So far, she's usually decided to just back up, which has made it hard for her to get too much push on that bottom wall.
Yeah, gonna try and get some damage on the Medivh here.
Yeah, Medivh a hard one to kill, but if you can kill him and reset those stacks, very worth it. He's at 16 now, so almost halfway there.
Li Ming's gonna be a little bit late to the party here.
She is, though I think they should be able to pretty easily stall till she gets there, and there she is.
All right, Dahaka coming in.
Goes in.
But
Got
the stun.
on him. We do have an attempted port from Brightwing, but it's canceled by his own burrow. But he has the essence, so we're still fine.
Joe's got to be careful.
Immediately stunned. She
should fall here.
If she has
It's gone down. She used it to engage, and Diablo just going super deep. Wow. Yeah, and now the invade. I like it. Take advantage while you've got the tank down on the other side.
Yep, you can see a couple of them bottom lane too, so you know you're nice and safe here.
That Medivh.
Trying to get cheeky on the Medivh. I don't know if they would have gotten that kill anyways, but they might have been able to chunk down some of his health. Made it harder for him to defend these siege camps.
Yeah, very well played there by the blue team, giving them a little bit of an advantage. And taking that siege camp off of the map for the red team. It's a little bit of experience they're taking away, and then lane pressure in that bottom lane.
Gather tribute.
Sylvanas grabbed onto by this Dahaka is eating a decent amount of damage. She will walk away, but is low, has to tap her fountain.
Team's just grabbing waves. You got Medivh just kind of flying around, scouting out the entire team.
And this is where that double global really starts to hurt. They are very close to level 10 now. If Dahaka can stay bottom for a little bit, which it sure looks like he will, they will get level 10. He'll burrow in, and they have the 10-9 fight. You almost have to give this tribute and look for 10 for the next tribute.
Yeah, I would look for the red team to just disengage, go back to lane, and just soak.
Which does seem to be the choice here.
Oh, they're going to grab their camp here.
Diablo
checking the boss. Yeah, but
it feels like it's hard for red to lane well into the laners of the blue team, which is causing some issues with
Brightwing.
The XP, as long as they can stay in this.
Caught up here, maybe.
Oh, and the nice follow-up gravity lapse, the Uther follow-up stun, and that is huge. Brings them into the level 10, has Brightwing down for the next 20 seconds. She'll be up for the tribute, which is nice for their team, but still a nice kill that was very needed as they were starting to fall further behind than they wanted to be.
And here they go. They're going to go for the boss.
Well.
Risky play. They might be giving up the curse for this.
Yeah, Medivh can't see their team, so they know they're not getting invaded. But as soon as this team sees that the boss is taken, they should go hard into the curse, knowing that at least 3 or 4 of them must be up by the boss.
Yeah, Medivh might be able to delay here.
I don't know if
but he's not in Raven form. This is very dangerous.
And that is all of his stacks gone. Yeah, not worth. Not even close.
Oh, APOC comes out.
APOC, Diablo doesn't get much value.
Joe's in danger here.
The nice stun by Sudden Bears is going to keep him alive for now, but John Goodman's still on the run, and he is going to die after that follow-up Diablo.
And then
CC.
Uther getting caught out here.
Now in trouble as well. Dahaka just waiting for him.
Yep.
Says, come my way. And he's going to go down. They shouldn't run to this fort, actually. I don't like the Li Ming play. The minions will take care of that anyways. Just start immediately sieging down that keep. And you should easily be able to get it inside this 30 seconds. I think they'll still get it anyways.
They should get the wall here. I don't know if they get the keep.
Yeah, they might not.
Yeah, they're same talents here. If they can get a kill, definitely, but we got a ley line coming out.
Tyrion. The ley line's stalling for a little bit, which is important because in 5 seconds this curse does end. And they're not quite going to get it.
Dahaka's getting caught here.
Dahaka using that
burrow
time by the Johanna to pull him as soon as he gets out. Medivh setting up a portal to try and follow it up, but they just don't feel like they can follow him in and get the kills.
Might get a shield. Yep.
There is the blessed shield. There should be the follow-up stuns by Uther. Is it going to be enough? A flaming ball of spaghetti coming up from the box, but it still is not the death.
Still going in on Diablo. Finally, he goes down.
In on the Medivh, they get the 1 kill. They might be diving too deep here, though, with Johanna and Sylvanas. We'll see if Li Ming punishes that. Uther coming back, should be able to heal him up.
But they could turn here.
Well
this is
done. Yeah, now, good point there as well. The blue team might have chased them back too far with the Li Ming. They might have been able to return, but they did have a couple low health heroes. I don't hate the call to just get out and heal back up.
Nope, but good fight overall. Good turn by the red team to turn and get the Diablo kill. Did that reset his
It did reset souls. He's sitting
souls?
at 9
So,
now.
so Diablo's going to be a little bit squishy, and with the burst
That actually
potential,
hurts the Brightwing healing a little bit too, since Brightwing does heal that percent-based healing. Will not be able to do nearly as large of a chunk of healing if she phase shifts onto him. Kind of double affects his tankiness almost when you have the percent damage or percent healers.
and as a Diablo player, I hate it when I get my stacks reset. I'm not
Yeah,
very
I would
good
full
at
death for
getting.
the stacks almost every time. Like, no, just let me keep the stacks. Give me the death timer.
I'm not very good
feels-
at building stacks to begin with, but then when I lose them, it's just
it
so
feels a little bad.
heartbreaking.
Gather tribute or face
They're
paint.
rotating up for this Rainer.
Choice is simple.
They might try to catch him.
They should try to catch him. Oh, goes for a
Smartly,
safe
he
play.
turns away. Very smart
Yeah,
play there
I
by the
think if they
Rainer.
would have had Johanna run out first, they might have been able to get that longer range Blessed Shield stun out.
Yep. Now blue
got him.
team is going to give
Blue
this
is
up,
on the boss,
and they are going for their
Rainer's
boss.
Not there. Brightwing is running to try and knock down the keep really quick since it's so low in health. But she's gonna have to stay there for a little bit to do it. Dahaka also coming in. Uther trying to come defend it. This is an interesting play. They will get the keep, which is definitely worth it in the long
Yeah,
run.
and this
as long as they don't
Medivh,
lose these heroes.
this Medivh is gutsy. Has to use the ley line to.
And the Brightwing does just barely get out of range of that Kael'thas ult, or else probably would have fallen. Does have the spell armor, but was low in health. I don't know if it would have been enough.
So Kael'thas will have the Pyro Ball still for their next engage, but they're gonna have to make up some of this soak. These globals coming in. Just
Yeah, they're
taking a
getting-
look at the experience.
Dangerously close to 16. Red team needs this one. They need the curse here. It's not quite a do or die yet, but it's getting close. If they don't get a curse here soon, they will probably lose this game, as they're just losing the war of attrition slowly but surely until they can find some makeup experience.
And they're diving this
They are
Rainer
jumping out
back
for Rainer
line.
in the background. Brightwing uses the disengage, which is a nice cooldown burn for the red team. They do seem to be in the better position at the moment, as Rainer's running all the way back to tap. So they have a brief 5v4. Blue is still fighting this. Sylvanas coming in with a lot of damage from the side, and Dahaka eating a lot of damage, but healed up by Brightwing.
And Medivh goes down again.
Setting stacks again.
Johanna
John
just
Goodman-
eats a big
eats a
Li-Ming.
full combo. Might be the death of him as well.
But, oh, Diablo
They do
goes
turn
down.
into
They're
Diablo
turning on.
Low souls, making the difference there. And it's getting dicey in here though.
Yes,
Uther
yes.
does fall as well. John Goodman goes down, and
This
honestly, this could be disastrous. They have that fort pushing down mid. That one will fall to the minion waves in the camp since they can't respond to it. They're trying for more kills, and they are just taking full control of this game.
Yeah, and they are immediately disengaging here. I'd like to see them pick up this siege camp first before pulling back, but
They certainly could have made that call, and I don't think they would have been able to be punished for it. They're just making the safer choice, though, and honestly, with how far ahead they are, I think that's a fine choice.
yeah, safe call. Grab the second stack here, and then set up for the next fight. They're playing for 20 at this point. They're letting their Dahaka, roam around the map, get free soak. They've got a 2-level lead at this point.
Oh yeah, they know as long as they don't lose people, they will be to 20 so much faster than the opposing team. But that's when they can force that fight. They'll have a couple minutes to do it. It's not like when you get that 30-second gap where you're trying to force a quick fight before they hit 20. They're way ahead here. They just need to make sure to not die, basically, is the only way for the red team to get back into this.
Right, we've got boss trades coming in, and much more dangerous for the red team because this boss is going to push straight to core. There is no keep in this bottom lane.
They are now taking the Siege Giants too, so doubt it was tactical, but I'm gonna call it tactical. They just wanted it to push with the boss, Earlier they heard what you were saying and they're like, no, we've got a better idea. We're gonna save it. Get a couple camps pushing at once. Medivh getting in dangerously close again. He will get out this time, though.
Dahaka, though,
Deep to try
going-
and get the stun. And Kael'Thas's ult, once again, does not actually go off. He might die. A great ley line, though, saving Kael'Thas.
that disengage, but they're going for it here.
Fox is on the core. He might just be enough as they are trying for the kill, and Uther will go down. He can get some heals out in his half-dead state. That might...
I think this might be game.
This is gonna be game. The boss.
Wow.
All the heroes are still alive.
Great
Red
push.
just unable to to overcome the momentum train of blue in both games in 2 and 3. They found the fights they wanted. They found the engages they wanted, and as soon as they got kills, they did a really excellent job of finding advantages and taking them. That double global just not being responded to as well as it needed to be by the red team.
Yeah, I mean, and just look at the experience gains. 10,000 by the Dahaka. Just really grabbing Soak when he could, getting his team the lead. And then the Rainer really did work in that bottom lane with the 9,000.
Yeah, the Rainer again playing very aggressive, not really getting punished. He's again almost the top damage dealer, 700 points below Li Ming. And Li Ming is again, it's a hard person to keep up with in damage. She can just send orbs a-flying, and especially in this full orb build that we've seen from these Li Mings in these games, she does a crazy amount of damage as long as she isn't dead, which she didn't die. So it's impressive that Rainer was able to keep up or surpass the Li Ming in both games. Boggs definitely a solid Rainer player. Somebody who plays that hero a lot. He did a really good job on him.
Yeah, that Rainer, I mean, I don't think he died in the second game either,
No, he didn't,
right?
He didn't die either game, and he was right near the top of all stats pretty much both games. Yeah, crazy good games by Bog. I'm just amazed that the Rainer, Dahaka, and Brightwing all made it through the ban phases. They all seemed so strong in game number 2. The red team thought they could deal with them. Unfortunately, this time they were wrong.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to get an interview. Looks like we're gonna have Indecisive from Frank's Furters.
Sounds good.
Hello. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Matt, that was a fun game to watch. Some of those plays were crazy. The Brightwing play I was very impressed with, so good job to you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that.
So I guess, the first map didn't go your way. I guess what kind of adjustments did you guys make? What were your comms like going into the second game?
For the most part, our main adjustment was going I guess to maps that I feel were more more in our favor. That was really it. Other than that, like we didn't feel like we did anything exceptionally wrong other than draft in game 1, honestly. Their race was just ridiculous compared to ours. But other than that, like I said, I don't feel like we did anything exceptionally wrong or anything gameplay wise. Not saying we played perfectly on it, but
No. But you guys definitely recovered very well in that second game, and played very aggressively. Is that something you guys normally do when you play Volskaya?
Yeah. It's Volskaya is one of our comfort maps for sure, and also we just kind of had a feeling that we could get away with it. You know what I mean? It's just something that we're comfortable with doing. So yeah, the aggressive play was it's just something that we're used to, and then also once you kind of get that lead, you can just keep doing it over and over. So it helped to that kind of permeated through the rest of the series because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and you did have varying levels of success, I guess, say with the aggression on that bottom camp. Me and Dark Horse were keeping count, and yeah. I think you were 5 for 5 on camp invades on that bottom turret.
I think there was one we lost where we got 1 kill, 2 of us died, and they got the turret. But yeah,
you tried. You did lose a little bit of a trade on try number 2, but it was still very well overall.
Yeah.
And then game number 3, I mean, you had the double global in game number 2, and then going to Cursed, with the insta pick for the 2. I imagine that was kind of your goal, is just to kind of get ahead on that macro, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. That was absolutely what we were going for, and also a little bit disrespected, obviously jokingly, but I'm surprised that no one's caught on to the Brightwing yet. I play it a lot, and no one seems to care. Um, but yeah, those we're definitely two of our comfortable heroes, and I think it's a comp that we're comfortable playing as well.
Yeah, and Dark and I were talking about it before the match started, and Brightwing's seen a pretty big uptick recently with some of the buffs she got a couple of patches ago, and yeah, a lot of people haven't picked on, and I think after this game, you might see Brightwing banned out against you. There were some clutch heals in that game number 2. I think you had almost 100,000 healing.
Yeah, it was something ludicrous like that.
Some insane number.
Yeah.
So you may see a Brightwing ban incoming, but I mean that would probably free up some other options for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, a blessing and a curse. Brightwing's a hero that I really like. So, blessing. It feels good to have something banned out specifically targeting you. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of an ego boost.
Yeah.
And then also it frees you up to play other heroes because sometimes you don't just want to spam Brightwing. But then curse, I lose Brightwing. So
That's very true. That's very true. Dark, do you have any questions?
Not a ton. I was a little surprised to see both Brightwing and the Haka make it through to game 3. To be honest with you, did you think one of those two globals would be banned out after it worked so well in game number 2?
I for sure did. I was surprised the entire series they stuck to the same bands more or less. The same first two every single time, and then the third was dependent on what we picked. Um, they just stuck to that over and over, and that was a little bit surprising to me. I'm surprised they didn't try to adjust especially after game 2, that they didn't see like any sort of threat there. But
Yeah, I mean, going into game 2, I think it makes a lot of sense. You win game 1, you think, hey, let's do the same thing. But
Right.
I agree. Going into game 3, I was really surprised knowing that you guys were going to a much bigger map and knowing that you did so well with the double globals that they let those same 2 globals through.
Right, and we had a second pick there as well, so we only had 2 champs in the first half of the pick ban. So it was also we wanted to pick both globals there because we didn't want only one of them to get through, and then the second one gets banned.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, excellent games. Felt like you were a little bit on your back feet in the first game, but recovered really well in game number 2 and kept that momentum rolling through game number 3.
Yep, I agree.
Random question: do you have any pregame rituals before you go into a match?
Before we go into a match, like as a team, not really. The only thing we have is the I don't know if you noticed, but in the lobbies we do the gas cools.
Yeah,
other
I
than
noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, we don't really have anything in particular. Not that I can think of, anyways.
All right. If you had to name an MVP, who would it be?
Probably, I don't know. I don't want to sound self-centered, but probably one of the globals. So either me or Dahaka personally. Dahaka being DJ Cold Cuts. Other than that, our Rainer played really well. I think Boggs. I don't think he died at all throughout the series.
No,
So
he didn't.
would
He
definitely
didn't
be-
die on Rainer at all.
Yeah. So he would be one of my top picks as well.
Awesome.
So, just 3 of
Yeah,
the
that's kind of what we said after game number 2. I was like, man, you can't even hardly pick somebody that did the best because everybody was just so good. Johanna had 0 deaths and really good engages, and Tastar had your most experience. The 2 globals just did so much healing and so much damage soaking. Like, I think they thought they were going to kill the Haka like 33 times in game number 2, and they only got him
crazy.
twice.
It was also a little bit anti-synergy there, where I kept on trying to use my global onto him to heal him, and he would go into the stasis.
Yeah, but he full healed himself anyway, so it was fine.
Right.
All right. Do you have any shout-outs for before we let you go?
Of course. Yep. Just my boys Franco, Franklin, and Francis. That's all.
All right. Well,
Awesome.
great series to watch. So much fun. Best of luck. This is going to do really good things. I think this should move you guys up, I think, to 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, they're going to be right at the top of the standings now for sure.
So with only a couple of weeks left, you guys are looking primed for a top playoff seed. So best of luck to you.
Thank you. And thanks for casting and everything as well.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right, thanks. See you.
Bye.
All right. So that is going to do it for us tonight. Really fun game to watch. I apologize early on for the technical difficulties. You know, my internet wanting to shut down before the game was over. So luckily we were able to get that fixed and cast the rest of the game. Dark Horse, any final words?
No, really fun games. Always fun to see it go 3 games. I Must Feed put up a good fight, but Frankfurters came through really, really strong in games number 2 and 3. Found that composition that they clearly liked. A lot of comfort heroes for them, I think, and they played really, really well on those comfort heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm excited for the playoffs here in D East. It should be really tight. With I don't see any clear winner of the division coming through right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, this will move Frankfurters right up near the top of the division. I Must Feed clearly gave them a run for their money, and that game number 1, they proved that they can beat them. So if they find themselves matched up again, they'll have to take them very seriously. And that's kind of how the whole of the division looks. Even the number 8 seed, I know we've played a couple times with our team. Team Banshee can definitely come out pretty strong. So even though they're down a few more points, I think that they could surprise some people. I think it'll be a really fun playoff.
Absolutely. Before I go, any final words?
No, I have no Franks or Francises to thank. So I think we are good. Thank you for the cast. Thanks for having me again.
Always, Dark Horse. Always happy to have you around. It's a lot of fun getting to cast with you. Before I go, did have a couple of follows during the stream. So Dying Light, Special Kid Miles, Sheltron, thank you for your sacrifice. Champagne Supernova and Joe Talk, thank you for the follows. Very much appreciated. And that's gonna do it for us. Look for another cast sometime next week.